Good morning, Unity. We are celebrating Friendship Sunday, and we're also celebrating Black History Month. To all our brothers and sisters, we honor you, we celebrate you, and we love you. And let's all stand to our feet. Love is who I am.
Yes. Good morning. Are you sure you're Floridians? I mean, you braved the rain to get here. Are you sure? You know you're a thriving community when folks in Florida come out anyway, when it storms or anything. You know you're a thriving community. That's beautiful. And then the sun starts shining. Look at this. Isn't that great? Look, you know, psychologists tell us that even to watch children play causes your spirit to feel youthful, right? So that's one of the reasons we put these videos up. Not just to push our Yes program, but for you to also say yes to your adventure. Act like a kid every once in a while. In fact, if you don't mind, look at somebody and say, oh my God, you're beautiful. You're powerful. You're amazing. You're awesome. You are fantastic. I see you filled with joy. I see you filled with peace. I see you full of love. I see you healthy, wealthy, and wise. Now high five 2 or 3 people and tell them you're glad to see them today. First Unity Spiritual Campus. And everybody who is joining us online, we welcome you as well. We thank you for being a part of this community virtually. Wherever you're watching from, if you don't mind just typing into the comments where you're watching from today. Also, we want to do this. So last week we did this, something very similar, but Kelly, we want to say hello to you in New York City. We want to say hello to those who are watching from West Virginia, those who are watching from Mexico, those who are watching from Spain, from France, from the UK. We welcome all of you and everybody who's watching around the world. That's pretty exciting. Ray in our AV booth, he was like, hey, you know, I can let you know where people are watching from. Our systems are built that way. And I was like, go ahead and lay it on me. And he laid it on me. It was a bunch of different countries, like 20 different countries, and every state in the United States tuning in. Isn't that pretty amazing? That we get to touch the world. We get to touch the world. I'm going to ask you if you don't mind to silence your phones. Also, if you'll take a look at the screen, we're doing something right now during the first quarter of this year where we're offering our memberships. And look, membership just means that you become an official part of this community if you're not already. Gives you the ability to vote and other kinds of things, possibly serve on a board of trustees at some point. Gives you some discounts on rentals of the venue here. It also helps you to really say officially, I'm a part of a diverse community, radically inclusive and vibrant that we are. And so if you want to join, it's easy by going to the website, firstunity.org. You can look for it says membership. Click on that. It'll give you our discovery class. And it's not as much a class as it is just an exposing of who we really are, all that we are attempting to embody as a community. And being a member here doesn't mean you're any more special than anyone else, but it does give you more access to what we're doing, especially here in this location. Those who are online, you can also become a virtual member. So consider going to the website. It doesn't matter where you're watching from. You don't have to be in the United States or in this state or in this local community to be a member of this congregation. And we welcome you, those virtually. We are also still looking for folks to sign up for different skills. What we want to make sure we do as a community is we want to make sure that we operate at our highest, at our optimum level from a business standpoint and as a community. So if you have any skills in these particular types of arenas, please consider seeing Rebecca Joy following the service or sending an email to RebeccaJoy@firstunity.org. That would be wonderful. Also, before we go, this is our Friendship Sunday. Yeah? Yeah. Friends, this is our Friendship Sunday, and we want to share our vision and our mission. So I'm going to ask you if you will to stand, because as soon as we get done with this, we're going to acknowledge the first-time guests. But I want to ask you to stand, if you will, and repeat this with me or read it with me. We envision a world that gives, embraces, embodies, and expresses unity. Our mission: we inspire, ignite, and invigorate ourselves to pave our spiritual path. And here is our core values. Well, actually, this is our invocation. Love is who I am. Gratitude is my attitude. Abundance is my nature. Well-being is my birthright. And I want to introduce something that we have not used on Friendship Sunday before, but these are the core values that our leadership team and other volunteers decided on that represent who we are. These are our non-negotiables. Let me hear somebody shout, love. Love. curiosity, authenticity, diversity, and service. All right, you may be seated. You may be seated. If you're with us for the very first time and you feel comfortable doing so, just slip your hand up if you don't mind. Our spiritual support team would love to bring you a Get Acquainted card and a gift. And we welcome you here. Thank you for joining today. I'm going to ask Lisa Salvi if she will to come forward now. She's going to share just a little bit of an announcement. And so, Lisa, if you will come forward, and if you'll grab Rebecca's mic, that'll probably be the best mic to grab right now. This is Lisa Salvi. She is our board president, and we love her.
I'm willing to flatten my hair for Alan Armstrong. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed the title of this room is the Alan Armstrong Sanctuary. Well, he was a gentleman who wore many hats around this around this sanctuary, around this campus for many, many years. Not only did he croon and sang his little heart out, he just did everything. And I used to call him Pat Boone because he had perfectly coiffed hair. And he did. He really did. But if you knew Alan, you loved Alan. And the reason I'm even bringing his name up is he was famous for and infamous for many, many things. But one of the things that he brought and designed and put together was our chili cook-off and our Super Bowl gathering that we do annually. And we didn't do it for a little while during the pandemic and so on, but we've brought it back. And so in honor of our friendship and our love for Alan, we've brought this occasion back, and we'll be celebrating not only watching the football game, right? Not only watching this football game, but we'd like you, if you love chili like I do, please bring an entry and create your chili. Bring it to the box office and let us know that you'll be bringing a pot of chili, because there is a prize. There is a prize for the winning entry, so please do that. And then the other thing that we'll be doing, because if you're not necessarily a football fan, because not everyone is, I am, I don't really care which team wins, but we're also doing the 50-50 raffle, because this is fellowship, yes, we love football, but yes, we're also doing a fundraiser. And part of the fundraising is doing this 50-50 raffle. Now, there's some instructions. It's because it's not always intuitive how this works if you've not done this before. So the 50-50 raffle is, if you paid $10 for a raffle or a box, right? You pay $10, and more than one is preferable, because we have several to still available. So if you, on the day of the game, the team going horizontally will be chosen, the team vertically will be chosen, and randomly about an hour before the game, the numbers will be chosen as well, 0 through 9, going vertically and going horizontally. So at the end of the quarter, the first quarter, and if the score equals the numbers that you have, the box that you own, then you win. Same is true for the same is true for the half, same is true for the end of the third quarter, and then same is true for the end of the game. And so what is possible, depending on how many raffle tickets you buy or how many boxes you buy, you have the availability to win up to $500. Or, because this is a fundraiser, we wouldn't mind you giving some of it back. So, that's all I have. And so join me and Alan as I flatten my hair, because we'd love you to help us do the fundraiser or celebrate in any way that you'd love to. So, thank you.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. It sure does. Good morning, First Unity family. Carrie Bell Scott here, and I'm bringing you your campus news. Our artist of the month is Philip Battaglia. Please support his artistry, which is displayed in our lobby hallway. Every Wednesday, we have a noon meditation with Reverend Dr. Aileen Curtin and 6 p.m. evening meditation with Reiki available. Join us here in the sanctuary for both. The Rainbow Coalition will hold its next meeting on Tuesday, February 6th in Friendship Hall at 7 p.m. The book study group of the book In Service to Love by Darlene Green will be held in room 300 at 6 p.m. every other Thursday until March 7th. The next session is scheduled for February 8th. Please register online. Join Emmanuel Yerna for the New Moon Meditation on Friday, February 9th in the chapel at 7 p.m. If you are called to be part of the change you'd like to see in the world, join our Oneness and Social Justice team. Meetings are held every second and fourth Tuesday of the month in room 301 at 7 p.m. The next meeting is February 13th. Join Alexander Geiger to develop and sharpen your compassionate communication skills. This 4-week series begins on Tuesday, February 13th and continues every Tuesday until March 5th in Friendship Hall at 6:30 p.m. Learn how to effectively respond to immediate medical emergencies while attending the American Heart Association CPR First Aid class on Saturday, February 17th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Friendship Hall. 2-year certification is available. Just a reminder that our volunteer drive is going on the month of February. If you have skills in the following area and would like to serve, please visit the volunteer table in the lobby. Our membership drive is in full swing. If you would like to become a member and secure voting rights on important campus considerations, discounts on rentals, and the possibility to serve on our Board of Trustees, please visit firstunity.org and follow the prompts under Become a Member link. Our Town Hall annual meeting will be held on Sunday, February 25th at 2 p.m. in the sanctuary. We will review the highlights and milestones of 2023, as well as new business and opportunities in 2024. All are welcome to join us. We are looking for a facilitator for our singles group. Please email Reverend Aileen to express your interest. Meetings are suspended until a new facilitator is identified. Wear your favorite football jersey or team apparel next Sunday to join in on the spirit of Super Bowl Sunday. Be sure to stay up to date on all campus happenings at firstunity.org. I love you guys. Enjoy the rest of the service.
Peace in my soul. stay in this energy of being in our soul, whether you call it spirit, Atman, prana, chi, we all have so many different labels. So I invite you now, and especially those of you at home online, to just allow yourself to relax and to let go here for the next 8 minutes or so. I am your guide, so you can, I watch the clock, I watch the room. So this is your time to totally relax and let go. So maybe now closing your outer eyes, or maybe keeping your eyes at a soft gaze. Just allowing yourself maybe for the first time today to experience just simply being here in this present moment. Maybe it's the first time that you've paid attention to your body, and just notice how your body feels right now in this moment. Scanning your body for any tightness or any tension. You know where your major tension points are. We've lived in these bodies for many years. But I'll point out a few just in case. Maybe we think that the tension we always carry is really who we are. So check in with the back of your eyes and allow a deep sigh or an exhale breath to flow through you, maybe releasing and letting go. Notice if you're holding on to any tightness on your shoulders, maybe you're gripping, tightening up your shoulders. Can you allow your shoulders to relax and move down and away? And wasn't that laughter just so releasing? So allowing yourself to just completely let go here. Allow a relaxed heaviness to come over your arms. Notice if you're gripping or holding any tightness in your abdominal area. And return to your baby belly breath here. If you'd like to feel the warmth, the security, maybe placing one hand or two in this area. Self-comforting here, self-meditating as you connect to your breath. And then taking 3 complete cleansing breaths here. If you'd like to inhale, expand the abdomen, draw the breath up through the rib cage, maybe hold at the top. And then exhale as you sigh out and let go. Take another big, deep inhale, filling up your own count, drawing it up to the top, and then exhale as you release. And then one more, filling up. Maybe this time drawing your shoulder blades up towards your ears and then letting it all go. Wow. So now coming into your natural breath and breathing now. Maybe bringing your awareness to the screen of your mind, your first eye, your spiritual eye. Maybe you call it the third eye. So noticing now the space between your eyebrows. Noticing if there's any thoughts or any worries or any anxieties or anything that you might have brought with you into this moment. Can you send the breath there? Maybe visualize them going into a cloud and using a gentle exhale breath to move them by. And reminding yourself that I am the vastness, open sky. I am not my thoughts, I am not my emotions. I am the experiences. I am aware of the experiences as they come and go. So rest here, maybe cleansing and clearing your mind for a few more cycles of breath. And now, feeling your awareness being at the root of your being. You are now in your highest state when you meditate. Meditate simply means to become aware, to pay attention, to come into the present moment. Some of you call this prayer. Some of you listen to the God of your understanding, or maybe quietly converse. Whatever works for you is all that matters in this moment. So maybe you have something in your heart that needs to be unburdened, something you'd like to let go. So use this time here to connect via your breath to the God of your understanding. Breathing in and out if your mind wanders. This is who you really are. This stillness, this quiet, this awareness. The awareness of the thoughts that come and go. The awareness of what you're experiencing now in this moment. Can you feel this energy that now moves freely through you, around you, above you, below you? Feeling yourself here as pure consciousness, spirit, prana, whatever you label the energy, universal life force, love, peace. Feeling yourself now in this moment, connected to all that is, no longer separate, no longer in this little egoic mind, but feeling this expansive power and energy of who you are in spirit. Breathe this in and out here. Maybe quietly affirming the following: I am the stillness in which all my thoughts, emotions, and feelings, experiences come and go. I am the stillness in which all my thoughts, emotions, feelings, and experiences come and go. Breathing in, I am light. Affirming this, I am eternal beingness, here and now. In this moment, I am eternal life. I am life. Breathing in, I am stillness. Breathing out, I am oneness. And now breathing in, I am. Breathing out, I am. Just feel this power, this peace. This is who you are. Noticing what this feels like when we relax the body, calm the mind. We allow the energy of who we are to express. So now in the last few moments here, just beginning to lengthen your inhale breath, your exhale breath. Maybe pushing your palms together, activating all of the chakras up and down your spine. As you breathe in and out, allowing the energy of who you are to flow freely. And feeling the power, the light of who you are. Slowly now, as you begin to bring your awareness back to this room, maybe beginning to wiggle your fingers, your toes. Maybe slowly creating movement and just noticing the relaxation now in your body temple here. And maybe now as you slowly begin to open your eyes, just bringing your awareness to the light, to the love, and to the energy that you feel all around you. And we take this moment to honor one another and honor our practice as we honor the divinity in one another. When we bow our heads and honor one another, saying, Namaste.
Everybody smile at me. While the music's playing, I want to do something here. Earlier this week, I was in my personal meditation, and I started doing this breathing in thing right at the beginning, and for some reason, I felt like when I breathe out, I'm just going to make the ah sound. So as I was doing this, I was reminded, I heard this somewhere, and I'm not sure where, but I heard this somewhere that sound is the sound of creation. It's the vibrational frequency of creation and bliss, ecstasy and joy. And that when that sound is made, it opens up a creative portal inside of your body. And it really, especially if you'll breathe in from the root chakra all the way up through the sacral, into the solar plexus, up to the heart space, into the throat, all the way up to the third eye, and out of the crown, you'll open up that channel. And you open that channel to all kinds of creative possibilities. And so I had this idea at the beginning of my meditation to on my breaths, exiting the meditation to Om. Because Om is known as the sound of God, or the vibrational frequency of God. And, because I remember growing up, people used to make fun of it. All y'all sit around and do is go to Om. But there's a reason for it, and it's also a sign of gratitude, or it could be the sign of sealing the deal. Somebody say, seal the deal. So I want us to do something real quick. I want us to do a few breaths together, because Reverend Aileen's already taken us into a wonderful space. Do a few breaths together with the ah. And then as we start to bring the message portion to a conclusion, we'll take a few breaths together and we'll bring it to the Om. Because really what I would like to share with you today is some things I think that are important for us to plant into the womb of our soul, for us to bring forth new life. All of us have a womb. Somebody say, whoa. Some of the men say, whoa, what? So all of us have a womb, a soul womb, because within us is both male and female. Within us is the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And there is a way for you to have a conception within your being. In fact, that's what's happening on a regular basis. Just many of us are not sure exactly where all our kids are. In other words, all of the things that we birthed into the world, and then they show up and they're expecting you to be responsible for what you created. I'm going to talk to y'all, because maybe y'all see, We create all the time. We just may not be sure of what it is we're creating, or we don't realize how much we're creating. And then those offspring expect you to be responsible. So, what is it that you're creating within the womb of your life? So I want us to open that space up. We're already open and we're already relaxed, but I want us to open that space up intentionally. With maybe 3 deep breaths, we'll breathe in through the nose, maybe 4 or 5 seconds, hold the breath at the top, and then all of us together release with the ah. Okay, you ready? This is good stuff. Are you sure you're ready? You may feel a sense of ecstasy. You may feel a sense of bliss. No drugs involved. You'll be under the influence, but you'll be heavily meditated instead of medicated. All right, we ready? All right, breathe in. And exhale. That's a long one. And again. And exhale. We have an ah choir. Again. And exhale. Now let's believe that the portal is open. And we say, Spirit of truth, take from us what we don't need, bring to us what we do need. We are completely surrendered. Any concept or idea that limits us, any concept or idea that traumatizes us, that brings us into fear, to limitation, and to lack, all concepts that do not work with us for our greater good, we let those go. We set an intention that before this session is over, that we will have conceived within the womb of our being even more greatness and more purpose than we had before we walked in this room. Intelligent Holy Spirit, great presence, guide and direct these moments together as they are sacred because we say they are. And everyone in agreement said, Amen. Amen. Isn't it interesting that ah sound? God, I am Brahman, Buddha, Krishna, Allah, Yeshua, Jehovah. There's something going on. Something going on. Nick, thank you so much. In fact, I'm going to do this right here. I want our band members that are still in the room to stand, if you would. I just want to say thank you. Nick, thank you. Piano, Tom on guitar, Mitch on bass guitar, Iman on organ, Lisa Nadeau on guitar. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. And it's so fun because we're not here to sound alike. We're here to sound together, to be in unity. We've been talking about that because we're going through the open door in 24. Let me just tell you, I didn't know what the open door in 24 was going to really mean. And you'll understand that in a little bit. But I didn't know what it was going to mean. But I'll tell you this. There's exit, there's entrance. The doorway is into something else altogether different and great and good. And I want you to declare a few things, if you would, right now. I'm going through the door. My abundance, my blessing, even more joy, more bliss, more peace, more love. All good things are waiting for me beyond the open door. All good things are waiting for me beyond the open door. Do you believe that? Do you believe it? Because see, the thing is we believe a whole lot, but we know very little. And we say we believe things. We do. We confess. I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm wise. I'm not sure if I believe all that. When I look at my account, I'm not sure. And I'm asking us to step into a ridiculousness, an absurdity, if you will, around actually acting on what it is we say we believe, and especially when it comes to unity. Last week we started a talk, and the title of it was Turning Possibilities into Probabilities. Now notice there's a little uncertainty even with that. Possibilities into probabilities doesn't necessarily mean there's a guarantee. Let me give us a little bit of just a little caveat on that. We affect the world we live in through our own perceptions. However, we live on the planet with 7 billion other beings doing the same thing. And sometimes you come in contact with those other beings. In fact, sometimes you come in contact with another being in the mirror you didn't expect to wake up to. I mean, I know I'm not the only one that sometimes wakes up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't wake up in the wrong bed anymore, but I'm not the only one. And we come in contact with our own personalities and these own things that are trying to introduce themselves as realities. And so we started talking last week about unity, because unity is the ingredient that turns possibilities into probabilities. If we can stay in unity, we can do a lot of things. In fact, there's an old saying that says, if you believe you can do something, you more than likely can. If you believe you do so, but if you don't believe you can do something, you most assuredly will not. Do you believe as a community, I'm asking this as First Unity Community, do you believe as a community that we are a thriving community that should be here right now in this time in history? Now, stay in unity with each other, that's nice, but you know you can't have unity with anyone else unless you have union and unity within your own self. This is always an inside job. Somebody say it's an inside job. And so we decided last week that we would look at what it meant to be in unity within your own self. And the number one thing we looked at was completely transparent and maybe brutally honest. You may have to become absolutely transparent. In fact, you will have to become fully transparent within your own self and brutally honest with your own self. To truly see the self that you're working with, that's the only way for you to make alterations. How many would take a piece of clothing to an alterations individual, a seamstress or a tailor, if you will, who's blind? Crazy question. Why is it that we think we should tailor our lives and alter our lives if we can't see clearly what we're looking at? Every single one of us have things in our lives that we need to take a look at, not in judgment, but to be inquisitive of what it is I'm believing by my activities. And you can tell by your activities what you really believe. And consistently practicing principles and disciplines that cause you to rise above your limitations will bring you into a habitual practice. And I've said to you before, what you practice becomes a what? Habit. And what becomes a habit becomes what? Your habitat. You will build your life out of the habits that you develop. And so listen, let me tell you something. If you're taking a steady diet of the chaotic world out there, you're going to have chaos in your own inner world. You are what you eat. And if you devour politics on a regular basis, I've told you what I think about politics, right? They're mini bloodsuckers. Politics. If you continue to consume what is being put out in the media, social media as well, if you consume other people's negativity, if you get caught up in other people's racism, homophobia, I'm not going down on the list, all of the sexism and the stuff, if you continue to get engaged in their space of energy, you're going to allow that energy into your own life. So be mindful. Be mindful of what it is you're eating. But we have to become completely transparent with our own self. And number two, we have to become totally and even radically accepting of ourselves. Total acceptance of yourself. To accept all of the junk in your trunk, all of the function and the dysfunction, to love you fully, This is the only way to be in union. Interesting story. In the Old Testament of the Christian Bible and the Hebrew Bible, it's in Kings, and I want to say it's in 2 Kings, but not remembering the reference at the moment. There's a story of a prophet called Elijah. How many remember the prophet Elijah? It's talked about a lot in church. Elijah was an old, cantankerous dude. Yes, he was known to prophesy and work a bunch of miracles, but he was also this. See, in one moment, Elijah would be having the heads removed of 400 false prophets in the name of God. And then in the next minute, he's singing all of the praises and he's inviting everybody to be reconciled. What? You're a mass murderer and you're reconciling? What are you doing? He had a mentee called Elisha. And Elijah said to Elisha one day, when I depart from here, what is it that you would like for me to give to you? And Elisha said to Elijah, I would love for you to give me a double portion of your blessing, your power, your anointing. And Elijah said, if you see me when I transcend, you will have the double portion. For many years, people only talked about his anointing to do miracles. Because according to the Bible, Elisha worked double the miracles of Elijah. But now here's what I believe about it. I believe Elijah was saying something mystical to Elisha. I believe he was saying to Elisha, if you can see all of me, my good and my bad, my weakness and my strength. You can see the yin and the yang. You can see the darkness and the... If you can see all of me, you can start to live double portion in comparison to what you've lived up till now. If you can see the good, the bad, the weakness, the strength, the joy, the sorrow, the light, the dark, the good and the evil in your own life, and be able to fully accept it radically, you can begin to live a double portion blessed life. So... we said that there were 3 keys to radical self-acceptance. Number 1 was that I am not my thoughts. I am not my feelings. I am not my emotions. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my feelings. I'm not my emotions. Will you repeat that after me? I am not my thoughts. I am not my feelings. I am not my emotions. So what am I? When we talk about it in our meditation time, I am the observer of the thoughts, feelings, and the emotions. I'm the one who is aware that they're there. And sometimes I'm very aware that those things are there. Anybody else? I don't need to go to the traffic again, do I? Sometimes I live in fear, and I'm experiencing fear because I'm reading the tea leaves. I'm looking at what's happening in the world around me, and I'm equating that to what's real. The only thing that's real is that which changes not. This is why it's important for you to not put your trust in the stock market. It's not real. We've chosen to measure wealth in this world and in this country by the stock market, but it's not real. Stop putting stock in the stock market. Lay up your treasures in the heavenlies, in the higher consciousness, because that is where the moth and rust and other situations cannot destroy it. And so it brings me to this. Number 3, alignment of my beliefs, my words, and my activity, my actions. There's an old Zen Buddhist proverb, and I'll paraphrase it because I can't remember the exact wording, but it basically said this: the one who has their beliefs, their words, and their actions in harmony remains in complete unity. Because if you can get your beliefs, what you say you believe, and the words that come out of your mouth, and your activity into the same alignment, whether it's for good or for evil, you will absolutely be successful. This is the trinity of your being. What you're believing, what you're saying, and how you're acting is the trinity of your being. And whether it's good or evil, you will be successful. And so this is why it's important for us. And otherwise, if it's not in harmony, you're going to have what? And from disharmony, you'll get what? Dis-ease. Because dis-ease is not about a physical ailment. Dis-ease just means disconnected from your ease. And I came here to tell you, everyone in this room has the right to live a life of ease, comfort, joy, and love. But that's a decision you'll have to make. The person sitting next to you cannot make that decision. The person that you're married to cannot make that decision. No president in the world or in world history can make that decision. It doesn't matter who gets elected to the White House. I want to know who's been elected to your inner house, because that's where the decisions are truly made, in your inner house. So when what you believe, what you say, and how you act become aligned, you are automatically singing the same song in harmony. And I mentioned to you before that harmony is such a beautiful thing. We heard it. I have peace, the song we did just. By the way, every song that's being done today was written original. Every song so far is original from this place. But did you hear the three-part harmony? They're singing in harmony. They don't sound alike, but they're sounding together, which creates harmony. In your life, it's the same thing. You can also tell when there's disharmony. I've mentioned to you before, if you go in before an orchestra gets ready to play and they're tuning up, you ever heard that sound? You don't want to stay around, do you? It's scratching and it's this sound and that sound, and they're not even sounding in the same key, and you don't even know what's happening. It's because they're doing what? They're tuning up and preparing to play the same song. The same thing happens in our lives. One of the reasons I wake up in the mornings and I start my day with thank you, and then the next words out of my mouth as my feet hit the floor are love is who I am, gratitude is my attitude, abundance is my nature, well-being is my birthright. You know why I do those things? Because I'm telling the orchestra of my life to get tuned up. We're getting ready to play a song, baby, and this is going to be a platinum record. The songs I used to write went aluminum. And aluminum's very bendable. So the song of your life, what is it singing? What do you say? With your beliefs, your words, and your actions in alignment, you have harmony. This provides not only clearer mind, but it also involves the body, and it evolves your whole being, which gives you the opportunity to apprehend the power of the planet. Imagine being able to work with the energy of the earth instead of against the energy of the earth. Imagine the earth's energy being in alignment with you. This planet's just waiting for us to line up with what's natural instead of normalizing the unnatural. Why are we normalizing poverty? Why are we normalizing inequality? It makes no sense. Why are we normalizing racism still? Why are we normalizing lack and limitation and fear and separation? Let me just say to you, those of you who are recovering from religion, one of the worst lies propagated on humanity was that at your baseline and core, you are a sinner and that you're separate from God. It's not true. You are not a sinner and you're not separate from God. You have always been connected to God. You can't not be connected to God. It's bad theology. Stop it. Not to mention the fact it sucks. I mean, excuse me, you're not supposed to say that in church. It vacuums. So when we're moving emotionally and physically with the same mind and in one accord, we're going to speed up the process of manifestation in our life. Simply because we have agreement, we will manifest quicker. The moment that you decide you want it and the moment that you actually hold it in material form, you will start to move those closer together because you're living in harmony. See, the universe cannot produce for someone who is giving it mixed signals. I just said something right there. Just put it in your pocket, hold it for later. It's not that it doesn't want to. Folks, God's not mad at you. God's not mad at you. God saw what you were going to do before you did it. You know this belief that we believe that God stands at the start and stares at the end. God's the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. We believe that stuff. We say, at least we say we believe that stuff. And if that's the case, then you can't disappoint someone or something or an entity or an intelligence that knows what you're going to do before you do it. Isn't that wild? You can't disappoint God. Because if you diss the appointment, God will just make another appointment. All right, that's just the way that works. Wherever 2 or 3 agree together as touching any one thing, it shall be done. So if you're in agreement within your own self, me, myself, and I, that's all I need. I don't need somebody else to be in an agreement. Look, I am in agreement within myself that First Unity Spiritual Campus is just getting started with our growth, that we're just getting started with where we're going. And if nobody else agrees with that, I'll go stand in the street and say the same thing, because me, myself, and I are already in agreement. And where 2 or 3 are together touching any one thing, they can have what they say. We're all multiple personalities. It's just not all of us admit it. I think I mentioned to you before that psychiatrists these days, they say that every 5th person you come in contact with has a mental disorder. So count 5 people down from you. Before you get too happy, they're going to count 5 people down from them too, right to you. Listen, and I'm not making light of mental health. Please understand that. Because you're right. We're in a mental health crisis in our world because most of us don't know who we are. We're not even just in a mental health. The reason we're in a mental health crisis is because we're in an identity crisis. And everything we have coming at us, just about everything, is telling us what we're not. And that we're not good enough. And if you just tuck that, and you just staple this, and you just lift this, and you just lift that. Boy, let me tell you, I saw somebody the other day. I said, boy, put your right foot in, you tuck it and move it. No. And I'm just being funny with you, but I'm telling you, many of us have bought into this is a part of our reality that we need to look a certain way and feel a certain. In order to feel good about ourselves, we need to do something else. Listen, the alteration that needs to happen is the alteration of our minds and of our souls. Bring yourself to the altar. And here's the direction of your alteration: toward more love for yourself, full acceptance of yourself. So, now, this practice makes the dreams of your heart and your mind become practical. And the word practical just means something that is feasible. So when you get your mind and your heart in alignment together, you begin to make these things you want your life to be feasible, tangible, touchable. Practice may not make perfect, but it does make permanent. And it does make practical. What you're practicing daily is literally creating your life experience. Check this out now. Think God, think like God, and you'll create as a God. Think God, think like God, and you will create as a God. Whew. That one went down my right shoulder blade. I felt that one. Think God, think like God thinks, and you will create as a God. My friends, you are stamped with the DNA of God. You are a God being showing up in human form. This is just the projection. The animation is the God presence within you. So instead of, and this is important when you start to pray or you meditate or you go through your day. Listen, you are declaring as God because you are the voice of God in the world. In the beginning, you were created in the likeness and the image. You are just like, and you are the image of God in human form. God, I wish we would believe this. Because if we did, we would watch what we say. We would watch what we're thinking, what we're allowing to come through the gates of our eyes and our ears, and what we're allowing to come out of the gate of our mouth. We would shift it if we really knew how powerful we were. So this is why I don't pray anymore, petitioning and asking God off in the sky somewhere to give me anything. I just evoke the God within. God within, manifest the wisdom I need for this moment. God within, manifest the money I need for this moment. God within, manifest my health, wealth, and well-being. God within, start evoking that energy that's within you. I got the power. You got the power. It's in you. Thank God. David the psalmist wrote a song, and one of the lines in the verse said, "Oh, magnify the Lord with me. Let us exalt its name forever." Oh, magnify the Lord. The word Lord, Elizabeth in English, really just means universal law. So, oh, magnify universal law with me. Why? Think God. Think like God thinks, and you'll create as a God, because it's already in you. Somebody say it's in me. It's in me. Now, I thought this Wayne Dyer quote, I love Wayne Dyer. Any more Wayne Dyer fans? I love Wayne. Wayne said this: when you stay on purpose, and I think we have a slide for this, when you stay on purpose and refuse to be discouraged by fear, you align with the infinite self in which all possibilities exist. How many? How many possibilities? How many? So when you stay on purpose and you refuse to be discouraged, disconnected from your courage, by fear, you align with the infinite self. Man, it's like plugging up to a light socket. When you get into alignment, you plug into the divinity, and it starts to circulate through your being. You might even get a jolt every once in a while. We used to say in church, you got a quickening. Hey, that's what we used to say, we got a quick. That's when they got plugged in, baby, you know what I mean? So you align with the infinite self, in which all possibilities exist. The all-knowing, the all-possible is in you, showing up as you, asking for you to unfold it fully in the world. This world is asking for fully developed divine beings to walk like, talk like, create like, and be as God in the world. Man. John, that sounds audacious. Yeah, it do. Number 4. Attuned inner guidance. I mentioned to you just a few moments ago, I was talking about tuning up. This is what I mean. See, look. The truth is, don't tell anybody I told you this. The truth is, you don't need church. I look over toward the board president. The truth is, you shouldn't do anything in your spiritual practice out of need. You don't need church. Really, what this space is for is to give you a tune-up. That's all. It's just to help you tune up. That's all. It's to remind you each week, because I've heard people say, well, Jon Scott, he don't say anything different than I've always heard. Fine. Good. Do you remember it? Tomorrow. Tuesday. I don't claim to be some great speaker. I don't claim to be somebody who's saying something different. I'm just here to shine the mirror and show you every week for the rest of your time here. I'm not trying to teach you anything, because I'm not a teacher. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a teacher. You're not my students. No. I'm just a guy who's on this journey with you, who every once in a while gets a quickening. Hey, and I remind you of who you are. That's all. That's all I'm here to do, is to try to give you reminders, my friends. The greatest teacher of your life is within you. The greatest preacher of your life is within you. The greatest prophet of your life is within you. Listen to that still small voice that's trying to speak above the noise that you hear from CNN and Fox and social media. Let yourself become attuned to your inner guidance system. It's better than GPS. It's better than Google Maps. No offense, Google Maps. Send us a check and, well, we might say Google Maps is close to Jesus. But anyway, so tune into that inner guidance system. Once you tune into the inner guidance system, now you're in action mode. You are once you're there, you're manifesting the life that you have only dreamed of before now. As you go through your life, implementing all of the changes that you have set out to make, you're going to encounter lots of distractions, sometimes from the people closest to you. Be careful about sharing your dreams with people close to you. Somebody say, ooh, as if you've done that before. Now, how do you think you're going to do that? You tell somebody what you're dreaming of, you know what I'm saying, and they'll start giving you all and here's what they'll say to you, very nicely. Yeah, I understand that, but you see, I think logically. You ever had somebody say that to you when you share your dream with them? They just called you stupid in a very nice way, as if you don't think logically. And it is okay. It is quite okay for you to smile and just listen to them and then let it go in one ear and out the other ear. Because in the beginning was the Word. And that word there in Greek is logic, logos, where we get the word logic. And let me tell you, if the rest of this world is thinking logically and this is the best we can do, we need some help. Can I get a witness from the amen corner on that one? If this is where logic gets us, my friend, be illogical. I've told you, be absurd. Don't be afraid to be different. The only people who've ever made any change in the world were considered absurd. So, there's going to be a lot of distractions, and you're going to come in contact with people who don't understand you and people who don't cheer you on. You're going to come in contact with people who can't get with you. That's okay. You don't have to go along to get along. You can draw that big circle, I've mentioned it to you before, and you can just make sure that they go to the edge of the circle so that you don't get distracted by what it is they're relaying to you. Let that inner guidance system guide you. Use your internal filter. Use your divine inner guidance system to discern and to determine whether a person or a situation aligns with you or not. And if they don't, release yourself, go through the door, and exit that situation. It's not worth it. You can love them from a distance. From a distance, different song, but you can love them from a distance. Stay in unity with your true nature, no matter what is presented to you. This is really what it means to be authentic and to live in integrity. Stay authentic by staying in unity within your own self. Remember, you came here loaded and coated with divine likeness. Nurture it, honor it, adhere to it. The answer is already within. Tap yourself on the chest and say, the answer is already within. The answer is already within. The answer is within. So I'm inviting us to start tapping into that library of universal mind. Every book you need has been written already by the universal mind. And you can call forth that data. This is the superconscious self. It's not the unconscious or even the conscious. It's the superconscious self. It's consciousness that lives up here and helps to inform and inspire the rest of the state of your being. Reach up into, this is why Jesus even said, look unto the hills from whence comes your help. He wasn't talking about Stone Mountain or Mount Everest. He was talking about moving into the upper room. This is what it's talking about when it speaks in Acts of they went into the upper room and they prayed and they waited for the promise to come from the upper room, in the upper room. And it says that they were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak with other tongues. I want you to hear what I'm saying here. I'm not saying you should be Pentecostal. I love my Pentecostal friends. I grew up with them. God help me. And it's all good. But the other tongue means you begin to talk different. You start to talk divine instead of limitation. You start to speak in a heavenly language, an otherworldly language, a higher consciousness language. Man, this is feeling good right here. I need to put the brakes on. We're almost done. Somebody say, thank you, Jesus. All right. This universal mind in Buddhism is called Sita, or Sita, Siti, Sanskrit for the center that connects us to the field of all awareness. Sita, C-I-T-T-A. The center that connects us to the field of all awareness. That's within you already. Somebody say the answer is within. Now, in closing, self-mastery. Again, I'm going back to what does it take to be in unity within my own self? Self-mastery. This does not mean that part of you becomes a slave. To master something means you're able to do it habitually without thinking about it. That's what it means. To get so into the practice of these kinds of laws, these kinds of principles, that you can do it without thinking about it. People will say it's second nature, and I say it's your first nature coming to the forefront. Right? So self-mastery is about understanding that this personality that was raised to be a certain way is not the one in charge. My real name's not even John. I'm not in a witness protection program. I was just saying that my real name was given to me by someone else. My real name, or the name that I possess legally, was given to me by my parents. It's not one I chose. So what is the name that is tattooed on your heart of awareness? Did you know you can be called by that name? That you can start to assume the personality, the character, the persona of your true self? You've been so impressed and oppressed by the way you were raised that often you never even find out who you truly are. This is one of the reasons that the Buddha talked about this siti or sita consciousness, tapping into the field of awareness. This is why Jesus, the Master, told Nicodemus, you need to be born again so that you can see the kingdom that dwells within you. The born again process is not about becoming a member of a religion. The process of being born again is that you put on a new mind. You enter the upper room. You go to a higher level of consciousness and you learn self-mastery. So, self-mastery is your ability to master your emotions and to master your attitude and to master your feelings. Your feelings? Yes, but I feel them. I know. And part of that mastery is not denying the feelings. It's not even judging the feelings. It's taking those feelings and integrating them into your higher self, knowing that from that place of the upper room, you're truly still the one in charge. This is another reason in the Bible it said to be angry, but don't fall to sin. Be angry, but don't commit an act that's against nature and against your natural righteousness. That's really all it meant. Sin's not a dirty word. You understand? It just means that, well, I've said it to you before like this. I believe that sin is basically my response, a negative response to a legitimate feeling or a legitimate need. It's a legitimate need. And it's a less than higher consciousness response to a legitimate need. You still with me? So that's really all it is. In fact, even sin in the New Testament it just means missing the mark. And how many have done that? You know what you do when you miss the mark? Go again. Go again. All right, self-mastery. When you go through the process of self-mastery, you start to repeatedly and creatively unfurl your essential nature. And you start to cause the conditioned self to play second fiddle in life. And you step up and you start to lead the band. Be the band leader of your life. And I guarantee you the song choice will change. When you go through this process, you begin to unfurl that essential self. And the more you practice it, the better you become. And the more you learn, the more the heart hears clearly exactly what it needs to hear. Even though those emotions get high, you find that you're able to narrow that gap with those before the emotions become commotion. Because you've mastered the self, you're able to bring yourself back into alignment with the truth that you are love, that you are joy, and that you are peace. I'm going to end with this quote from Eckhart Tolle. Mastery of life is not a question of control, but of finding a balance between human and being. Human is form. Being is formless. Human and being are not separate, but interwoven. Once I wake up to that. See, Elisha had to see Elijah's human errors and divinity all in one being in order to get what? That double portion. You want to take your life to the next level and be in full unity? Remember that mastery of life is not a question of controlling your personality, but it's finding balance between human and being. Human is form, and we fill out all the forms, fill out all the taxes, coming up on that, aren't we? Fill out all the forms. We go through the formulas. Being is formless. Remember that you're a human being, not a human doing. Being is the formless. Human and being are not separate, but are interwoven together. Now I'm going to invite us into a few deep breaths, and we're going to make the sound of the Om together. And again, this is just known throughout time. Much of the Hindu faith and in the Buddhist faith as well, known throughout time as the sound, the essence of divine. And I want us to think of it as the divine, you connected with the divine in gratitude and sealing the deal. I'm going to become more unified within myself as I walk through this open door. So we're going to receive the deep breath in through the nose, 4 or 5 seconds. Hold that breath at the top and then release it with the Om. Are we ready? Breathe in. And exhale. About one more time. Breathe in. And Namaste. Namaskar. Yummy. Yummy. Now, Reverend Aileen's about to come and she's going to share with us our abundance practice. Before she does that, I want to ask you, if you consider this to be your home, spiritual community, church, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter to me. If you consider this place to be of importance to you, I'm going to ask you to consider staying around after service. We, myself and the board, we have a special announcement of some things that we want to share with you about a really wonderful opportunity and an optimism about expanding even more. Somebody say expanding. We have a fantastic door that we're about to walk through as a community, and it's important for you to hear what is transpiring so that you'll be fully aware of it. So at the end of the service, last week I missed you. I missed hugging your necks at the end of the service because I was with the band. They let me be with the band. I was playing bass last week, and so I was playing on the last song and missed all of you. Today, I'm not going to miss those who will be back in here following the service, but if the service comes to conclusion, give it about maybe 5 minutes for a bathroom break. And then I'm going to ask you to consider coming back in here for just maybe 15 minutes. Not going to hold you long, but this is somewhat of a business portion that's going to prelude or preclude a preview of our membership meeting that's coming up in a few weeks. Okay, and I want to share some very important things with you that this community needs to know about. All right, so that's directly following the service. Reverend Aileen, if you will come and share with us our abundance practice.
And let's give him another round of applause. Thank you, Reverend Jon, for reminding us of who we are. And so this is the time when we practice our sacred giving. I want to say a special thank you to all of you online who give. and all of you here present today. So again, we have 5 ways to give. Text to give at 833-691-6105. Just text the give amount. Second way we give is our First Unity app. You can download that, follow the prompts. The third way that we can give is doing our auto give program that you've set up. And the fourth way is to mail in your offering. And finally, the QR code. So you can take out your phones, maybe snap a picture, and that will take you directly to the donation page. So again, just taking a moment to honor our gratitude, our feeling of abundance, and as I invite you all now to stand and to confidently declare our abundance. The abundance of God is my infinite source. I now open my mind and my heart to give and receive all God's good, all God's prosperity, all God's abundance. As God as my source, all things are possible, and so it is.
Together, here we grow together.
Love is who I am. Gratitude is my attitude. Abundance is my nature. Well-being is my birthright. And don't forget that it's Friendship Sunday, and we have a potluck and lots of yummy food in Friendship Hall.
And take just 5 minutes and then come back for the meeting.